Mr. Speaker, CAP President Tim McMillan said, quote, Alberta's climate plan with its new regulations does not support working Albertans, end quote. He said the 440 million oil sands innovation fund pits companies and communities against each other. And the NDP government's plan does not protect jobs or the competitiveness of the energy sector. Husky, Imperial, CNRL all agree. To the Deputy Premier, why is your government making it more difficult to do business in Alberta while making life miserable for Albertans?
The Honourable Minister of Economic Development and Trade.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'll thank the member for the question. You know, Mr. Speaker, we've been working with industry, including CAP and all of their members for the past 2 years, ensuring that we were going to move forward with our climate leadership plan to ensure that companies are moving forward on developing innovative technologies that will reduce their greenhouse gases, reduce their footprint, but also making them more competitive. Mr. Speaker, last week we announced $1.4 billion that will be invested with industry into finding innovative solutions and continuing to drive the innovation agenda forward.
First supplemental.
Given, Mr. Speaker, when the official opposition is trying to do its job, holding the government to account and offering constructive feedback, the NDP says we are cheering for the failure of Albertans. Mr. Speaker, nothing could be further from the truth, and we will not be bullied by this NDP government. Instead of auditioning for the role of official opposition, why won't this NDP government face the facts about high unemployment, the brain drain, rural crime, credit downgrades, and vanishing investments, and stop holding from their record?
The Honourable Minister.
Hey, Mr. Speaker, you know what I find disingenuous, Mr. Speaker, is that the opposition is continuing to hope that the pipeline approvals that we've secured will fail and that these pipelines won't be built. It's getting quite tiresome, Mr. Speaker, of an opposition that is running down our industry. We know that they are the best in the world. We are working collaboratively with them to increase opportunities, to expand the innovative technologies that they are developing. We are partnering with industry, Mr. Speaker. We stand with our oil and gas sector. We stand with our energy sector. When will the opposition do the same?
Second supplemental.
Given, Mr. Speaker, the NDP shamelessly take credit for any success of hard-working entrepreneurs and businesses like Jacos, who only recently started production after years of construction, and since the NDP is taking credit for the increased production of Suncor, Cenovus and CNRL, but it was all due to the mergers and acquisitions when the multinationals left. Will the NDP admit they are just following Tommy Douglas' energy policy of the 1970s to kick the big multinationals out of the oil sands while misleading Albertans?
First supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know what, Mr. Speaker, the opposition would have us sit on our hands and do nothing. Well, you know what? There is a role for government to play, and we're very proud of the role that we play in working with industry to encourage investments, to make it as easy as possible to invest in this province. Mr. Speaker, the credit always goes to the companies and to the small business owners. But there is a role for government to play, whether it's through our Alberta Jobs Plan, bringing forward tax credits that make us more competitive, to, again, investing $1.4 billion from the carbon levy into innovation that's going to benefit our oil and gas sector, our energy sector, our food processors.
Thank you, Honourable